Asahikawa, home of the increasingly internationally famous Asahiyama Zoo. Enjoy the turning of the seasons. Take advantage of the gourmet delights from surf to turf. Discover the fine arts and culture in Asahikawa, from sculpture and pottery to music. Want to see more? Let us introduce you to the charms of Asahikawa. The city is nestled alongside the Taisetsu Mountains, with the Ishikari River flowing right through the city center. This is where our trip through Asahikawa begins. Collected on the side of Mount Arashiyama is one of Japan's largest gardens of wildflower and wild grasses, the Kitakuni Wildflower Preserve. The singing of birds makes a peaceful sound in the clear air. The kilns and workshops producing beautiful pottery, glassworks, and dyed and woven goods and cafes nestle at the foot of Mount Arashiyama in the Arashiyama Pottery Village. Why don't you try some Asahikawa sweets on a dish you have found at the Arashiyama Pottery Village? Asahikawa's sweets and pastries use locally produced flour and milk. Take a closer look at the newest work of a craft woodworker, which brings out the warmth of the wood. In the city center, we find the Pedestrian shopping mall, which garnered national attention as the first pedestrian haven. The mall stretches for 1 kilometer from the station, all the right shops for shopping or a bite to eat lined up in a row. Stroll down the mall, enjoying the sculptures along the way, and soon you reach Sevenjo Green Avenue, a swath of green right through the city center, a little break from the hustle and bustle. Along the Green Avenue is the Tetsuro Nishikawa Cultural Center. He is one of the top contemporary haiku poets in Japan. A few more minutes of walking past Green Avenue, and you arrive at Tokiwa Park. You can enjoy cherry blossoms in the spring and autumn foliage in the fall amid the flora and fauna. There are 160 streams and rivers flowing through the city, spanned by 760 bridges. The most famous is Asahibashi Bridge, a symbol of Asahikawa. It looks especially beautiful framed by the Taisetsu Mountains, or sunset when it's draped by snow. The Asahikawa Museum of Sculpture was built over 100 years ago by the Asahikawa Kaikosha Foundation as an assembly hall for commissioned officer recreation, and now is a national important cultural property. It is now a sculpture museum dedicated to the works of the Asahikawa associated sculptor Teijiro Nakahara. The 12 works left by Teijiro are all part of the permanent exhibition. Also, works awarded the Teijiro Nakahara Award, which was established to support sculpting, and the works of other sculptures that were closely associated with him are displayed. Next to the Asahikawa Museum of Sculpture is the Yasushi Inoue Memorial Hall, dedicated to the Asahikawa-born international literary master. When snow caps the bearers of the mountain ash and the song Red Berry Lamp comes to mind, people remember Master Inoue with fondness. The Hokkaido Folk Arts and Crafts Village has 3 pavilions: the Yukara Ori Folk Craft Museum, the International Dyeing and Weaving Art Museum, and the Snow Crystal Museum. Yukara Ori was produced by its originator, Aya Kyuchi. From hand-dyed wool yarn to mimic the nature of Hokkaido, it's the unique textile of Hokkaido. Over 200 dyes are blended and specially spun yarn is used to produce these beautiful textile works. The most beautiful snowflakes in Japan fall on the Taisetsu Mountains. The Snow Crystal Museum has many magnified photos of these unique crystals you can enjoy. Ayako Miura was one writer that put down roots and wrote in Asahikawa over the years. The setting of her award-winning first novel, Freezing Point, was the International Arboretum National Forest. Many fans now come to find the Ayako Miura Literary Museum in that very forest. Displays of photos and things she used to use make it easy to step back to the time when she was writing her bestsellers. The Asahikawa Museum features Asahikawa history and the people that laid the foundations for it and the culture of the local Ainu people. We can learn about the unique culture and lifestyle of the Ainu through embroidered and sculpted ornaments and tools. There is now a new corner devoted to Ainu craft artists that are even now passing down the traditions. The Asahikawa Science Center, built around the concept of making the wonder of science accessible through hands-on experience. Besides an observatory and planetarium, there are displays focusing on the North Country, the Earth, and space. Nicknamed Saipao, the center is popular among young and old alike. Just a short walk from Saipao, a green tunnel of sycamores rise before your eyes. It's a great frame for a snapshot. A nationally famous brand, Asahikawa gave birth to Asahikawa Ramen. It's said Asahikawa has about 200 ramen shops within city limits. One popular spot is Asahikawa Ramen Village, where 8 different ramen shops have booths. What sets Asahikawa Ramen apart is the delicious soup and the curdy noodles. Each shop serves their own particular flavor. Local sake breweries have made good use of Taisetsu mountain spring water and the cool climate in producing exceptional sake. Fine sake is produced at 3 local breweries. Local microbreweries have also won national competitions with their beer. Beer goes well with Genghis Khan, the lamb and vegetable dish that is Hokkaido's specialty. Lamb and vegetables are cooked in a special pot and eaten right from that same pot. In the city center, 3-jo 6-chome is the food and drink quarter, known affectionately as Sanroku. As a transportation hub, Asahikawa provides access to delectable harvest from the sea, mountains, and countryside. Asahikawa is a leading rice-producing area. With interest in food on the increase, there are even places where you can take your family for a hands-on look at food production on the farm. Rich natural resources and the extremes in climate produce delicious farm products. Even when you're out for a drive, you can get piping hot fresh corn on the cob. Asahikawa's golf courses are in a great location, embraced by the Taisetsu Mountains. How about some insider information on enjoying a drive around Asahikawa? The road to Bie and Furano is called the Florist Highway. The season for the fields of flowers begins in June, but the lavender reaches its peak early in July. There are fields of flowers stretching out with the Taisetsu Mountains filling the background. How about taking some pictures surrounded by flowers? Sankyo Gorge is one of the top natural spas in Hokkaido. In the summer, you can join other sightseers, gaping at the falls pouring down the cliffs. Then in winter, join in the fun of the Freezing Falls Festival, amid ice objects formed in the image of freezing falls. Enjoy the beauty and the glistening ice. Hokkaido's highest peak, Mount Asahidake, is another spot to see, less than an hour's drive from Asahikawa. 10 minutes up the Alpine Ropeway, and you're at Sugatami Station. The alpine plants welcome you to the summer mountains. Not just for serious mountain climbers, the hillsides bustle with photographers and other people enjoying a walk in the fresh mountain air. In September, the mountain leaves begin changing color. Japan's earliest signs of fall begin in the Taisetsu Mountains. The land of Ainu legend, Kamui Village, is another ideal spot to see the autumn colors. You can join the fun and feasting at the Fall Village Festival. Diamond dust sparkles in a sub-zero world, a sign of winter in the river city. There's no reason to hold back on winter activities in Asahikawa. You can ride on banana boats, snow rafts, snowmobiles, and quads. How about trying some tubing down the sledding hills? With over half a century of history, the Asahikawa Winter Festival began as a way to put all the piled snow to good use. The Great Snow Sculpture has even entered the Guinness Book of World Records. You can climb on the balcony of the Great Snow Sculpture and experience the magnitude yourself. Artists from all over the world gather on the Pedestrian shopping mall to take part in the World Ice Sculpting Competition. They carve their ice sculptures over 2 days and nights, and each one sparkles transparently. From the station down through the mall, a line of 60 ice sculptures transforms it into a land of ice. Tokiwa Park is transformed into a world of lights. Asahikawa Winter Festival is a place where you can enjoy art made of snow, ice, and light all at once. The many mountains and rivers that have stood guard over Asahikawa since ancient past are your guide on this trip for Asahikawa. We'll be waiting for those of you who want to visit again, to see more of Asahikawa. These days, Asahikawa Zoo is garnering attention even from abroad. Roughly 140 kinds of animals make their home here through both summer and winter. Asahikawa Zoo is called an active exhibition, where displays are made so you can see the animals' natural abilities. At the Polar Bear Aquatic Park, you can see the bears swimming, the expressions on their faces, and their fluffy fur all from close up. You can see seals swimming up through a glass tunnel, just like they would approach a hole in the ice. The wolves live in a habitat built to simulate the forest of their natural environment. All with their ferocities, you can see them close up from within the safety of the capsule. The completion of the hanging bridge over our heads has brought the lesser pandas almost within our reach. The Amur and Snow Leopard exhibit places them literally right over your head. From below, you can clearly see the bottom of their feet with their pads. The Chimpanzee Forest mimics the way they live under a canopy of trees. There is a bridge suspended 5 meters up in the air and a domed roof. How would you like to meet face to face with that chimpanzee that's running around so energetically? This is a handmade playground. Spin it around and out comes food. It was put together to keep the bright little monkeys from getting bored. Thinking that wild orangutans live high up in the trees, the creators built a 17-meter tower draped with ropes. Asahikawa Zoo's orangutans are great at taking a tightrope walk high over your head. Asahikawa Zoo is in the process of putting together different species that can live together. The spider monkeys that move around using their long tails get along just fine with the capybara that like to swim. There are 4 varieties of penguin in the penguin aquarium. Inside, there is a clear tunnel running through the water to give you a 360-degree view. You too can see a penguin flying through the sky. The penguin parade is very popular in winter. It gives the penguins a bit of exercise too. Please come and visit the animals while they're making their home in this winter wonderland. No matter what the season, Asahikawa Zoo has something exciting in store for you.